Now, talks to revive the 2015 nuclear deal between Iran and world powers are set to resume. This is as representatives from Iran, the United States and others return to Vienna for a new round of discussions, mediated, of course, by the European Union. Now, one country which is concerned with the developments is Israel, as they see a prospect of a nuclear Iran as a threat to their internal security. Well, let's cross over now to Tel Aviv and get the latest from Middle East correspondent Jotam Confino. Thanks for joining us. I suppose the big question is, why does a nuclear Iran directly threaten Israel?
So Israel has often been threatened by Iran with being completely wiped off the map. It's a threat Israel has heard numerous times. And we have to remember that Iran also has proxies around the region that are directly threatening Israel, that are direct enemies, such as Hezbollah in Lebanon, Hamas and Islamic Jihad in Gaza. And Iran is funding these proxies. The fact that Iran wants to annihilate Israel is, of course, a huge concern. And Israel can deal with the threat coming from Hezbollah, Hamas, and Islamic Jihad in Gaza, but a nuclear-armed enemy is a completely different ballgame. And this is why Israel is threatening over and over with striking Iran if they continue to advance their nuclear program, and if they continue to go in the direction of being able to build a nuclear bomb, which we heard from Iran lately that they actually are capable of, technically. This is the first time we're hearing that. They are technically capable of producing a nuclear weapon. So great concern here in Israel, of course.
Very much so. Now, it doesn't take much of a cynic to look at what's going on in the world right now and question as to why the European Union is convening these talks at this moment, just as energy prices, particularly in Europe, are skyrocketing as Russia is turning off the gas potentially permanently this winter. Is this not potentially a political move by countries that really just want some of Iran's energy?
I think it's a fair observation, because we all know that Iran is a huge oil producer. It has one of the biggest oil reserves in the world. And since it was sanctioned by the United States, its oil production has really come to a huge halt. It's only exporting to countries that are buying their oil on the black market, so to say. So if a deal is revived, if they lift the sanctions, then Iran is all of a sudden, or will in time, be ready to be a player on the oil scene again, and they will be able to produce and sell oil to the European Union and to whoever really wants to buy it. So that's definitely an aspect. But I would say, I think the main concern here for the United States especially, and of course for the European Union, is really Iran's advanced nuclear program. They're so close to being what you call a nuclear threshold state, which means that they can really, in their breakout time, so to say, to get nuclear weapons will be very short. They would like to enter this deal again, to freeze Iran's nuclear program, and at least be done with this headache for now. If they don't revive this deal, Iran will continue to advance its nuclear weapon. And as we heard former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak say lately, we will have to accept that Iran will be a member of the nuclear club, so to say. So two concerns here. Oil is one of them, of course, but definitely the nuclear weapons, I think, would be the main priority here for the negotiators.